are days when I feel unsteady. I feel it now, a sense of falling, flailing. I hold my head at the correct angle, try to focus on the newspaper, the princess, the young man. But still I see that other face. A woman's face. Taken apart, put back together. And the scars, so many years later. 1.
67 years ago.
I looked up from the script. I'm sorry, Mrs. Tyler. That's the Gettysburg Address. You're meant to be reciting the Emancipation Proclamation.
Am I?
Louise exhaled fretfully.
Oh, dear.
That on the 1st day of January, I prompted.
1st day of January.
Remembering the rest of her line, she rattled off.
In the year of our Lord, 1863,
all persons held as slaves, shall be then, thenceforward, and forever free.
Forever free,
Louise echoed, and removed her stovepipe hat.
What does thenceforward mean?
From now on, I suppose.
Well, why didn't Lincoln just say so?
As a lady's maid, it wasn't for me to defend the stylistic choices of the martyred 16th president. But while Lincoln had been eloquent in the face of Civil War, congressional oppression, and the pistol of John Wilkes Booth, he had probably never faced a salon of society ladies, as Louise was preparing to do. In fact, he rarely visited the city, which had twice refused to vote for a Republican seen as insensitive to the commercial benefits of the slave trade. However, it was the 50th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation, and New York had embraced its commemoration with gusto, which was how Louise found herself balancing a makeshift stovepipe as she struggled to recite Mr. Lincoln's great speech. Bored by the traditional dinner parties, the city's great ladies were keen to display their artistry in different ways. Tableaux vivants and amateur theatrics were the rage. One might enjoy Mrs. Halsey's Brutus on Monday, Mrs. Foster Jenkins's selections from Die Fledermaus on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, Mrs. Fortescue's torrid attempts at Apache dance. And so, led by Dolly Rutherford of Rutherford's department store, the newest and most ostentatious of the ladies' shopping paradises, which billed itself as the place where every American beauty blooms, my employer, Louise Tyler, and others were to perform stirring scenes of the Emancipation in a week's time. Being tall and willowy, Louise had been chosen to play the great emancipator himself. This was an honor that one might have thought due to the hostess, but Mrs. Rutherford was round of figure and short of stature. At one point it was suggested she play Harriet Tubman, but in the end she had accepted the almost equally, if not more, important role of Mary Todd Lincoln. The part of Harriet Tubman went to Mrs. Edith Van Dormer. Having died earlier that month, Mrs. Tubman would be spared that performance. Now Louise sank into an armchair and gazed out the window at the mid-March morning. The calendar might say spring, but the chill air and dull skies showed that winter had not yet loosened its grip. A fire burned nicely, and the remains of Louise's breakfast tea sat on the table beside her. The townhouse in the East 20s was quiet, as William Tyler, her husband of 8 months, was in Washington with Louise's father, Mr. Benchley. There were rumors that Woodrow Wilson was working on a new sort of revenue system, a tax on actual income. The more one earned, the more one paid. Some considered this a monstrous assault, including Mr. Benchley, who had many friends in Washington and had gone to urge them to fight the president's plan. He had taken his son-in-law and newly minted attorney with him, leaving Louise on her own.